Dissipation of the Darkness, or the Kingdom of the Antichrist. Jose Cicero Honorato. Presentation. The following story is from an ancient Hebrew manuscript chronicles the founding and development of a secret society that starts with the name Mysterious Force. Founded in the year 43 after Christ and was its first president, the king of Judea, Herod Agrippa, grandson of King Herod the Great. This, the grandfather of that, is the same that killed all the babies of Bethlehem, born soon after the birth of Christ, so that thereby occurred the death of the newborn, quote, King of the Jews. The object of this secret society was persecuting Christians, because it was only 10 years of Christ's death. However, the teachings of, quote, impostor, as was called by his enemies, threatened the kingdom of Herod Agrippa and the Jewish religion. It was necessary to fight and to kill the first Christians. It was established in the status of Mysterious Force that everything that was written in that manuscript would be in the hands of the 9 founders, a copy for each, and after the death of one of them, only the most discreet son, or the most intelligent, would be to copy, and so on. It were accepted in this association many people. However, certain secrets like the purpose, founders, and important dates were hidden from the associates. Only the heirs of the 9 founders could meet and have this manuscript, and so they followed, holding meetings and struggling against Christians. On 24 of June 1717, the Mysterious Force changed his name. With subsidiaries in Europe, in countries such as Rome, France, and England, the name came to be Freemasonry, or simply Masonry. In 1895, one of the heirs of the 9 founders and possessor of secret history of name Lawrence, Russian, resident in Brazil, jewelry salesman in the capital Rio de Janeiro, presented it to Dr. Prudent de Morales, the then Catholic and Mason President of the Republic. The enthusiasm of the President of the Brazilian Republic by the possibility of publishing it was so big that soon agreed that they're charged with the private affairs of His Excellency the President of Republic of the United States of Brazil, Mr. Awad Corey, should translate and to publish as a book this Hebraic history of the French language to Portuguese language. But this did not occur. Mr. Awad Corey, Lebanese and resident in Brazil, had to return to Lebanon. However, the goal was not forgotten. After several years of research to verify the veracity of the story, Mr. Awad Corey translated from French to Arabic and published it. However, until today, this story had not been officially published in Portuguese. I, Jose Cicero Honorato, translated, arranged, and published this book, based on this manuscript historic, so that all speakers of the language of cameos, as well as speakers of other languages, are entitled to possess it and read it. Letter to the reader. Thank you immensely to the reader that for surely will make a good reading and reflection about this particular story. I know you may be saddened or even shocked by the events that occurred. However, it is a knowledge that strengthens us and helps us in tackling the obstacles about our existence, no matter their ethnicity, culture, or religion. What really matters is that there should be respect for yourself and for others, and recognize humanity as lady of their intentions and worthy of your destination aware. I appeal especially to the Jewish people, the proper understanding by the fact that following story has been originated in their country. Don't blame yourself, since we must not, for example, blame the German nation by the existence of Nazism. What happened in Germany for that country includes such political regime was a systematic preparation of the social body to receive and accept one of the greatest atrocities in history. It was a political cell, perverted, affecting, and barbarizing all that social body, without letting human time to understand. The same was true the birth and development of the next story, because the society in question is by nature secret. I quote here the phrase of a great psychoanalyst. I have seen many times people become neurotic when accept insufficient or false answers to life's question. That was Carl Jung. For there is not any secret that shall not be made manifest, nor hidden that shall not be known. Matthew 10:16. Preface to the English edition. Once, More than 250 years ago, there was a copy of this book in English. Perhaps it still exists, but if it does, it is well hidden, carefully guarded by a descendant of the man who stole it from and killed its rightful owner. Its rightful owner, however, left a widow and a son. His widow married a close friend of her deceased husband, one of only a handful of men in the entire world who had a copy of the original manuscript, which the English translation had been made. And so despite the fact that his father's copy had disappeared, the widow's son inherited the manuscript and passed it on to his descendants. And then by a series of coincidences, the chains that bound the secret was broken. The chain of succession was broken when one of the descendants bequeathed the manuscript not to his son's son, but to his daughter's son. The chain of ideology was broken when one of the descendants was converted by his Christian wife. The chain of silence was broken when one of the descendants translated the manuscript into French and sought other linguists who would translate it and publish it in other languages. And so it went from French to Arabic to Spanish to English. The secret association conceived in the mind of another widow's son more than 19 centuries ago is no longer secret. Was it coincidence or was it the hand of God? Dedication of Awad Khoury, translator of the work from French to Arabic, to all the Masons of the world. Dear brothers, before presenting this history, I extend my greetings to you from the depths of my heart. To whom, more deserving than you, could this history be dedicated? Who, other than you, has a greater right to read it and to have it? Who, other than the owner of the house, is the one who should investigate what happens in the house, good or ill, beneficial or harmful, and which is under his roof? And if someone knows nothing of his parent, would it not be his duty to investigate who they are, to know their origin and ancestry? Wouldn't one be ignorant who takes a beverage without finding out its ingredients? One who wears a suit, should he not determine if it is clean or if it is contaminated with contagious bacteria? All these allusions pertain to the case of a member of an association who knows nothing of its origin, its past, its founder, the history of the foundation and principles of the association. Who is that member who is ignorant of what he should not be ignorant? We are the Masons, who for 19 centuries have not known the origin or the past of our association. The founders hid that secret with rare cunning in the cloaks of the occult, as you will see. They hid it from their own brothers, from the beginning to the present, in spite of the endless investigation of historians. Guided by God, I have found this history, and since this is a discovery so longed for by the seekers of historic truth, it would not be gallant to leave it in obscurity before you in particular, and the rest in general, forbidding you its benefits. I consider its concealment a betrayal, an act of cowardice, a crime. This is my reason for translating this work to Arabic language for the publishing it, to serve history, science, and the readers themselves, especially you, dear brothers, not doubting that this action of mine will find among you, the wise and the rest of the people, looking beyond all your religions and political differences, the value it deserves. I call on you to read this history with discernment and meticulousness. With conscientiousness and an open mind, offering you my fervent greetings, is discoverer and translator to Arabic, Awad Khoury, review and its supplement, resume of the booklet, 2 Centuries of Freemasonry, the words of 2 great Masonic elders, Jacot and Latent. Every person, when he enters an association, is interested in knowing its origin and past. End part 1.